Welcome back to another cooking video. I'm Chef Devaux and I'm going to teach you how to make some salmon chips and a delicious Asian guacamole to go with it, so you can just dip those chips into it and just enjoy. Okay, so there's a lot of cooking to be done. Let's get going. Okay, so you start off with a beautiful piece of salmon. It doesn't have to be sushi grade, and just spray some salt over it. What we're going to do is we're going to cure it, take some of the water out of that and get the salmon a little bit more tougher and a little bit different texture. Just going to flip it over here. Okay, wash my hands a little bit. Okay, perfect. And now just add a bit more salt on the other side. Just enough salt just to cover the entire fillet of fish all the way around. Like I was saying, it's going to cure the salmon, it's going to make it a little bit more tougher, and that's just going to make the flavors more intense, and it's going to make it great for the deep fryer. Okay, so here I'm just going to put them into a tub and leave it in a cool place like the fridge for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, so while that's curing, let's make the guacamole. Alright, to start with, you take a spice blender like this one, and you just put 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay, just like this. And then you put 1 teaspoon of dehydrated onion flakes, just like these. These are really nice ones, I must say. But you can get these in every single supermarket, more or less. They're a pretty generic product. Pop them in there. And then 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper flakes. Oh, I love cayenne. Throw that stuff in there. Look at that, nice spicy stuff. Drop it in there. And then we put 1 teaspoon of cumin. Okay. Now I'm gonna put just a tip of a knife of smoked paprika. Now this is very intense smoked paprika, so just a tip. Any more than that and you risk ruining everything. So just put that to one side, and then we're just going to put sun-dried tomatoes. Now these are being dehydrated slowly in the sun, and I'm just going to put 2 of them. Let's call that 2 teaspoons worth, because they're about the size of a teaspoon. There we go. And now the salt. We're going to put 1 teaspoon of Hawaiian red rock salt. This is amazing salt. Alright, throw that in there. And then 1 teaspoon of rock salt that has been smoked. This has a real intense aroma. I can smell it right now. It's just amazing stuff. And then I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of pink Himalayan rock salt. Okay, so I might be messing around with you. You don't need 3 different types of salt. Just take 1 type of salt and put 3 teaspoons of it. I suggest the smoked salt. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the lid on this. Just screw it in, nice and tight. And then I'm just going to put it onto the Kenwood blending machine. Okay, once it's on, then just turn it on. Whoops, wasn't supposed to go on there. Okay, now turn the knob and just blend it nice and thoroughly until it's one smooth mixture, just like this. There we go, done pretty quickly with this. And then just unlock it. Just going to show you how it looks like, just so you can have a reference. Okay, just take it out. Going to show you the powder. This here is what you want to end up with. One smooth powder, just of amazing salty spiciness. It's just great. This is just going to add that flavor punch to the guacamole. Okay, so here I'm just going to chop some avocados, and basically just going to do a quick chop here just to make the mashing of the avocado easier later. So here, just bunch them up, and now I'm just going to transfer these over to a bowl. Okay, just pop them in there using the knife. Okay, nearly done. Okay, once all the avocados are inside, what you want to do is you want to take 3 tablespoons of minced onions. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then you want to add 1 tablespoon of that beautiful spice mix we just made. Okay, and now you want to start mashing it up. Now I prefer a mash rather than a blender, because a blender creates a very smooth guacamole, which just isn't right to me. It has to have that little bit of chunkiness to it, but not too chunky, so do mash it up good with the masher. Okay, so Now I'm just going to add some lime. And what you want to do with the lime is you just want to roll it on the cutting board, and this will release all the juices inside, so when you cut it and press it, it's much easier. I'm just going to roll 2 of them. I don't think I'm going to need 1 of these, but I'm just rolling 2 just in case. Okay, so just cut it in half, and now I'm going to just squeeze it in. And what you want to do is squeeze 1 lime in, see how it is. If you feel it needs a bit more, then just add another bit of lime. And you just want the lime to cut through the richness of that avocado, just to balance it out a little bit. Alright, so here we go, nearly done. That's 1 lime in there, just mash it up a little bit. Just a little bit more mashing. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of mirin. This is going to add a little bit of Asian flavor into there. And just mash it up a little bit more. I like to keep mixing and see how it is. Okay, and now I'm just going to add some fresh garlic, just to accentuate, give it a different flavor profile to the already powdered garlic inside. And I'm just going to cut off the sides, and then you're going to crush it to release the skin of the garlic. This makes it much easier to release that skin. So now you just peel it off, it should come off quite easily. And then once you've got all the skin off, just put it into a garlic crushing press, and then just press out that 1 clove. Okay, perfect. Now you want to take some freshly grated wasabi and throw in 1.5 teaspoons. Now, if you don't have freshly grated and you're using powdered fake wasabi, use a bit less because that's much stronger and might throw everything off. So just taste and test, see how it goes. Okay, now I'm going to add 1 and a bit tablespoons of toasted sesame seeds. Really important to get the toasted ones, they add a lot more flavor. And then just a splash of soy sauce, just like this. Okay, that's great. That's about 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, I'd say. Okay, and now just 2 tablespoons of diced tomato. Okay, now you want to make sure to mix it in a little bit, but don't over crush it, because the red of the tomato with the green of the avocado, I'm sure you've learned in primary class, will make a brown color. So you really don't want to over crush this, just slightly just push the ingredients together and mix them in a little bit. Okay, now just taste. That is amazing. Alright, just needs 1 more thing, just a little bit of coriander and we're good to go. So just take some coriander and just pick off the leaves just like this. Okay, don't want to get any stems in there, only leaves. Okay, and once you've got enough leaves on the board, what you want to do is you want to roll them up like you would a cigar. I'm sure you've all had experience rolling cigars, so I don't have to really explain this part. Okay, so just roll it like that. Okay, once you've rolled it into a nice roll, what you want to do is just cut it. And rolling keeps all the leaves together, makes it easier to cut all of them properly. Once you've cut through the entire coriander cigar, do another chop in the opposite direction, just like this. Okay, and then you scoop it all up, place it in, and now I'm going to mix it in, but I'm going to use a fork instead, because I don't want to crush those leaves in too much. So here I'm just going to fold in the coriander leaves, just like this with a fork, and that's pretty much the guacamole done. Now you want to leave this in the fridge, cover it up with some cling film if you're going to leave it in there for a couple of hours so it doesn't get too brown and oxidized, and just leave it for later. Okay, so now back to the salmon. After about 45 minutes to 1 hour, what you want to do is just rinse off that salt, and then once you've rinsed it off well enough, then you take a paper towel and just pat it dry. Okay, just like this. Now get ready to cut it, put it on the cutting board, and then when you want to cut it is at a 90-degree angle to the fat lines like you would sashimi. So I'm just going to place it the right way. Here we go. If I lay it like this, then the fat lines are running parallel to the board, and I can just drag the knife towards me and not have to worry about it. So here I'm just going to drag the knife down towards me. There we go. And I'm cutting through the grain of the salmon. Okay, so just simple, very thin slices, just like this. Just rest the palms of your fingers against the salmon and drag the knife in one swooping motion. It helps to have an extremely sharp knife like this one. If you want something like this, check out my website on the top left corner of your screen, boxroll.com. I'm happy to announce we now can ship worldwide these amazing knives. Okay, so just cut the entire salmon piece, and then now we'll move on to making the chips. Okay, you take a piece of cling film, put it on a cutting board just like this, and then you want to take a little bit of cornstarch and just powder it over the piece of cling film and spread it out just like that. Place a slice of salmon onto your cornstarch and then just press it in, turn it around, make sure that cornstarch is all over, fold over the piece of cling film to get all of that cornstarch just pressed into it. Okay, so once that's more or less done, it feels really weird to the touch, but this will make it really crispy in the deep fryer, so you really have to do this part. Okay, so once you've done that, you just want to place it into the deep fryer at 145 degrees Celsius. This is the view from inside the deep fryer with my GoPro, risking damaging the GoPro just to get you this never seen footage. Okay, so make sure the salmon piece does not stick to the bottom like it's doing right now, as you can see. What you want to do is just put some utensils in there, maybe pull it out, or shake up the deep fryer so it just releases like that. See? Perfect. Whenever it gets down to the bottom, just shake a little. Bam. Okay. Once it comes to the top, you want to just keep flipping it over so that it cooks evenly. And you want to cook it for about 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes maximum. It's up to you. You have to gauge it by looking at it and feeling texture. What you want to end up is with a leathery sort of texture at the end, not a completely crispy one. Okay, so I'm just going to take it out now, place it on a paper towel just to drain off some of the oil, turn it around just to get some oil off the other side too. And once you've cooked them all like this, then you put up the deep fryer to 190 degrees Celsius. And then you just put them all in there. And this second cook is going to crisp up the salmon chips. It's going to make them really crunchy. So just pay close attention here, separate them out a little bit, keep turning them around. And it's going to take again 3-4 minutes, maximum 5-ish. Okay, so once they're all more or less done, what I'm going to do is just drain them out a little bit. And once they're drained out, I'm just going to put them on again onto that paper towel. Just let some of the oil drain out. And they're going to be sizzling hot still. Listen to that sizzle, crackle. That's amazing. Okay, so now for some of the garnish. What I'm going to do is take some rice noodles, throw them into the deep fryer quickly. They're going to puff up and air up and expand. And this is going to be a great garnish. They're basically done now. Once they're completely done, what you do is just lift out the tray and just let them drain out on top of the deep fryer. Okay, now to plate up, what you want to do is take some of that beautiful guacamole we made at the beginning and just place it on, just like this. Okay, so I'm just going to put a second scoop on top of that. Perfect. And now I'm just going to prop some coriander leaves into it. Just make it look a little bit more lively. Okay, so once all that coriander is in there and done, what you want to do is take those rice noodles you just cooked a second ago and just place them onto the board like this, just to give it a little bit more volume, a little bit more height to the plate. And now you just want to prop your salmon chips around and on top of it and have them just presented in a way that's interesting. Okay, so once that's done, you can just take your salmon chips and dip them into the guacamole and eat it. And I promise you it's delicious. Voila, done. Okay, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there and check out all my other videos by clicking on the right. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already by clicking on the top left corner of your screen. Thanks for watching. I'm Chef Devaux. See you guys next week.